back.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I'm going through this game, doing this section very procedurally, pretty much. So I'm just going to keep following.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door
and do all the options on that one path. And all the like sub paths that follow from it.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yes.
Here's the door, just go.
We tired him out. We did a little bit too much trolling. It's just a corner over there. We did a little bit too much trolling. And now he's not even gonna. So now we're trying to be cinematic about it. Alright. Oh, so that waits for you to do it. That's what I was testing there for a second. I was going to see if it was going to happen before I did it.
Through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape!
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No, I'm good.
At this point,
Stanley
was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
No. That's not death.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was a great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
No.
Stanley.
No, I thought he was kidding.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Got doors. Sound buttons. Alright. A selection of sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Pretty cool. The 2 doors. The set of 2 open doors was the very first concrete piece of Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction the room posed. Very interesting. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. The corridor had been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in good time. Yes, this game, I bet this game did take a lot of like rearranging just to like get it right, to time everything correctly, especially with the narrator thing. That's very important. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development through the core layout. Oh, sorry, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Yeah, pretty cool to see. It's all behind the scenes. Here's the credits. But this is the credits from the original, I believe. Because if you look at additional voice work, Alex Hirsch isn't on this list, but he is in the game, actually, turns out. I believe he's part of the new content door. The first time you go through it, I'm pretty sure that's him that you hear. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah. This all start off as like a Half-Life 2 mod as well. Boss's office, seeing some development. It's pretty cool. It's a clock. So I've been through all this pretty much before. So over there, that's a bunch of cut narrator dialogues. Actually, let's go over there real quick and let's hear a few. I like to just sit there for a second and hear a few. Lounge, underground. Early version of the underground portion of the game, very interesting. Let's just hear a few.
All of his co-workers. Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible to you?
So yeah, it's just a bunch of unused narrator lines from like I think all the way back. It said to like before even the game came out, like before I don't remember if it was before the Half-Life 2 mod or before the standalone was released. But yeah, Freedom Ending. This is the very first iteration of the Freedom Ending in the game's alpha. I think I've seen that one before. But yeah, it actually appears later as well. We'll see. The countdown desk. Every time the elevator in the monitor room can go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned it when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down and placed the two endings together. Instead, very interesting way to continue with the choice part of the game. Monitor room elevator, same thing. That's a very interesting way to continue the choice thing of going up or down, but the on or off is way more with the choice. Escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which is frustrating for everyone. Guess what? That's exactly how it works. Z ending model. Z ending went through many iterations. This represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon change it shortly after launch. So we got to find out what that is. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I think I missed that one out actually on stream because I don't think I've ever heard of that one before. This one's all like old trailers and stuff. Very fun though. But yeah, I'll probably get this ending in a video if I haven't already done it. Anyway, the meeting room. So this is basically like how you would get through maintenance. There was like a couple of options here of how they might have done it. I think the vent one's very interesting, and I'm glad that this is the apartment timer. Okay, this is a spoiler pretty much. There's going to be fun we have to answer, but if you didn't answer in 15 seconds originally, you'd get a separate ending, but now that doesn't happen. The cargo lift, 2 iterations of the cargo lift, quite interesting. To look at the office, more stuff. This one's emails to the narrator. Actually, there's skeletons. More skeletons in the world than humans. Oh no! The subject of that one was final warning as well. This is from the Game Awards, I think it said, of announcing this. It's pretty cool. Warzone, this is a cut ending where you'd get dropped into like an action game, and the action game would take over, but people apparently thought it was making fun of shooters, which it could have. Would have been very interesting, but that wasn't their intent, so they cut it. An early version of the maintenance room, we'll get to see that one in a few minutes as well. Or, not a few minutes, a few episodes, I think. For a few episodes, too. Very cool. Very cool area. This is different iterations of the office, as you can see from left to right, as time went on. So you can see this is definitely in the finished version, almost. And this one's a lot more bare bones. And they got added stuff, they added more filing cabinets over here. They expanded the desk as well. They moved it over. Moved the filing cabinet. Very cool, though. There's a bit of new content to each of the original endings as well. And one of the endings, where you go into different games, was completely changed. 2 completely different games. But you can recognize all 4 of them because they're all iconic games, pretty much. But, it was quite cool to see the 2 new ones.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I pressed the button.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Wasn't the button.
Perhaps not.
Pulled the lever.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
I do like how they
As you
changed it to
move forward, you'll
PlayStation
be
instead of
walking someone
device.
else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Wow. Don't worry, I can still pause and restart the game. So that's all for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. But yeah, so that was almost every single Obey ending. We have one more, and that'll be the end of the Obey endings for now until we have to come back to them later. You'll see why. I'm not going to spoil why we have to come back. See you guys in the next one. Bye.